Hey guys, TTL back with another video for you, and we're going to call this like a TTL Talks video. It's like a subscriber video, but we've got a set subject. And today our TTL Talk subject is trolls, because I seem to be getting them pretty bad at the moment. And the last one, don't go thinking that this is anyway. Right, the last one was I did a video about a headset. And I don't normally make videos about headsets, and to be honest with you, all of the headsets get done by VB on the OC3D website. VB's been on holiday, he's been taking some time off, well deserved, we all need a break. Anyway, so when that headset came in, I nabbed it because there was an NDA. Sometimes we have to do things to a certain time where they say not allowed to do anything until that time, and then they try and do it so that you get kind of a flood of reviews all at once. All of the manufacturers do it. Anyway, said headset, which I'm not mentioning, it's a newer iteration of a series that's already out. So you have like, for example, you have like a product line, and they've all got the same name, but they've got different things. Some RGB, some USB, some like that. Anyway. This one came in at about £20–30 cheaper than the old ones. When Brian reviewed the original one with all like lights and all that type of stuff, he gave it a gold. This one without the lights, it's actually got 3.5mm support and USB support. You can plug it into your controllers for your consoles and still put it in your desktop and all that type of stuff. And it was like, oh, it's actually really good. And the sound quality hadn't changed as the hardware inside it was different. They just funked around with it a little bit, and then it came in, and there was a deal on, so it was £10 cheaper for 2 weeks. So it was like, it's a brilliant little headset. Sure, it's not an audiophile product or anything like that, but for the money, it was on point. It was actually better value than the range before. There wasn't anything really to dislike about it. One of the things that the build quality in the past has been a bit shaky, but this one now has got like, the hinge on it is all aluminium. It's totally over-engineered. If there was a nuclear holocaust, the hinge would be the thing that would survive type thing. But I got an awful lot of flack about it because I had given that brand a gold, and it's getting to a point where it's getting a bit daft now. Because yes, I do a lot of work with Asus and Corsair. But I feel really privileged to be able to do that. Essentially, when I do reviews and stuff, we do quite a few reviews. We review awful lots of other stuff on the site anyway. I just don't make videos about everything. I just don't have time, so I pick and choose. And I was trying to, by chucking a headset in, I didn't have to make the video. We had stuff covered on the website. I was trying to give you lot a bit of variety. Obviously, I was wrong. But the point why we're here, look, is people keep going out of their brains about awards. And for argument's sake, that on the end, Fractal Define S Gold Award. When we did that, not long afterwards as well, because I put a basic build in it for them, it went to Fractal and it went to CES. So it got flown out to Taiwan with my badge on the front of it, was on their stand at show, lovely. NZXT. H440, first case, only case to ever win the TTL Gold Award. Never given one to a Corsair case yet. I live in hope that everyone gets one, to be honest with you. But that was the first one. I've not really seen one that's tickled me so much since. Didn't have any optical bays. The first proper case that did that. Loads of cooling. It was brilliant. People were losing their mind about the airflow in it, but it's not a gaming case. It's designed to be quiet. Anyway. S340, another gold case. This is actually an MSI rig. It's got an MSI crate inside it. It's been to, remote's gone. MSI crate inside it. It's been to 2 I-series. It's been to a couple of other shows. We've done loads of videos in it. All the hardware's still in there as well. It's still got the, actually I'm waiting to get the Skylake version, the new Skylake crate, the one that's just about to come out because there's a new one. So we can swap it all over. So, MSI, NZXT case again, Bob's your mother's brother, loads of shows, loads of videos as well. People don't moan about that. InWin 805, only gave that a silver because of the motherboard tray. There was no grommets, all the holes were kind of scattered all over the place, but it's a great looking case. So I gave it a silver. A silver's still a good thing. This one went to EGX and I stood beside it showing people the case and RGBs and all kinds of stuff while I was at the EGX show. People didn't lose their minds about that, did they? So I guess, I mean, I understand people kind of just grab hold of things and just run away with them, and it almost kind of gets to, oh yeah, it's really easy to pick on Tom, but it's also, you're not really helping. And that's the nicest way I can put it. I do try and do as much as I possibly can do with all the other brands. EVGA GTX 980 Ti we reviewed not so long ago. I can't remember whether we gave it performance or the gold award, but it was a very good, very strong card. The, what did we do? It was the KFA2, the white one. And yeah, the cooler wasn't so great on it, but it was, it looked really nice. The performance was there because it had a huge overclock on it. So we do a lot of variety. You just have to look back to see. But another reason why I'm here with all this stuff out, and the remote's gone again, with all this stuff out, is because I'm going to be doing, we're just about to be gearing up to start in the new office. I'm hoping by the end of March I might be at the point where I might be able to be doing some work in there. Carpet's going in on the 7th of March, I think. So, you know, I'm working really hard to be able to up the ante a little bit more. Now, we are going to have a whole wide range of brands, but when I'm asking for kit, sometimes there just isn't the budget to be able to give me what I need, which is, you know, generally at that point, that's when you see Asus or Corsair going in, because it's just stuff that I've, you know, we can have lying around. But, like, for example, we've got the white 960, GTX 960 in this one, and I really would have liked to have got the 970 or the 980 to have gone in there, so that we could have done a little like £1,000 gaming system kind of build idea and done some benches and stuff. And I asked MSI and they were just like, they don't want us to send out any of the white ones. So they were like, if you want a white one, you're gonna have to buy a white one. And it's like, well, I can't spend like 300-400 quid on a graphics card to do a review with, because then it's too cheeky to send it back. So it just ends up costing loads of money. And don't get me wrong, I love making videos, but I'd be bankrupt if I started doing that just for one video, or shows and stuff like that. So, you know, sometimes there are limitations. You guys just don't get to see all of it. Now, I'm obviously not Linus. I'm not asking you to pay for my videos, and I'm certainly not like, you know, going off and getting kit left, right and centre, or like it falling from the heavens. But at the same time, I do try and vary things as much as I possibly can. Now, the other kind of point of it is all of the big launches, and I mean this with the motherboards, graphics cards, cases, even coolers, you do get a wide range. They may not all make the videos on the main website. They pretty much all get done, and we work our rear ends off to do it. So now I'm kind of making this video and I'm thinking, why am I making this video? But I kind of feel like we have to. So if you are genuinely interested in any of this, then please comment underneath, and I will try and talk to you, and we'll, you know, talk about it as well. But at the same time, come and join the OC3D forums, because there's a great group of guys there, and they'll all help you as well. And one of the things I will say is, if I do say to you, I personally like something, then that means I personally like it. Do you know what I mean? So there was, like, for argument's sake, when I reviewed the Creative, I'm trying to see, it's the X7 recently. They were eye-watering amounts of money. Didn't have an Asus or a Corsair badge, but they were really good, and I really liked them. And they got given a gold because they were just chuffing awesome. Do you know what I mean? So if you do see people going, then you just need to kind of take a little bit of balance. So I think the other thing is that people are just moaning that maybe I'm doing too much Asus and Corsair stuff. Well, sadly, if I am, then it's because they are releasing a lot of good stuff. One thing that I will say though, and this is another really funny thing, is if Asus or Corsair release some iffy stuff, then because I am quite free to mark things down, they just won't send it to me. Literally, they won't do it. Because they're not silly. It would be like having a really terribly bad car and then sending it to Jeremy Clarkson. It would just get ripped to bits. So sometimes, you know, things, you know, do go that way, and that's the same with all manufacturers. And you know, and I do mean all of them as well. I have asked for stuff from multiple manufacturers in the past where I've said, I really like the look of this. Can I review it, please? And they've been like, nope, no. So that to me is a really good thing, because manufacturers know that when it comes down to it, if it's not right, then I say so. But it's also not fair that if you've had one bad product from a manufacturer, so you've had to RMA something or something like that, you then seem to hate it forevermore and you just don't take that brand anymore. I mean, I've had kit that I've had issues with and it not being as easy as it should have been right the way through my career, and stuff that I've bought back in way back in the day from many manufacturers. And there's only really one now that I just still personally don't really like, and they've actually gone bankrupt and then been bought by somebody else, and I still wouldn't just because of the name, but that was because just of something that I found out with their business practices, that they'd been there was a known fault with the product and they'd sent it out anyway, knowing that people would RMA it, and then when they'd RMA'd it, they would have fixed it by then, and then they would just send them the new one. But anyway, we're not going to go into that, otherwise I'm going to end up with solicitors on the door. So basically what this was about is just me kind of saying to you, I do as much variety as I can, but it's not quite as simple as me just being able to go, yes, I would like one of these please, and then it just happened. And the other thing is, if I had it's only me here at TTL Towers, which is another thing that you need to think, I haven't got time to test, review and do everything, which is why I have people like VB on the website, and he does a lot of the mice and the keyboards and headsets, and he does a lot of the systems. And then we've also got G-Dubs, who does a lot of the cases and coolers, and sometimes we'll team up together and work together on stuff. And then you've also got now Marky's now doing a lot of the gaming stuff, and he's a bit of a ledge, but we're a very small little team. I'm the only one like doing the reviews and the testing full time. Mark does a lot of the news, and then the other boys have got jobs as well, and then they do the reviews in their spare time. So, all I'm asking for is all of your points are very valid, but sometimes there's a little bit of an explanation that can be going along with it, which might take the anger level down for you, just a few notches. And I don't mind trying to talk to you about it at all. I will do my best. I used to, when I was a young little scamp, full of testosterone and, like young and like, rah, where I just get angry about stuff. But now I'm just like, can we just get along? Because if we can get along, then that means I can take your criticisms on board, which I want to do, because I do want to do a better job. And I do admit, when I did the headset review, it wasn't the best. I was short of time. I should have put more time aside for it, but I didn't. I only had a very short window with the actual product before the NDA came out. And sadly, it fell over a weekend, and you know what that's like with real life. But don't feel sorry for me. It's not what I'm asking for. So I will take your criticisms on board, and with that headset, 100%, I can do better. And going down through the comments, I've even taken a lot of notes where I can bring those points up in future. And that's what I've done with all the other products, with like motherboards and cases over the years and all that type of stuff. So essentially the headset was just me trying to mix things up a bit. To me, it seemed like it did sound pretty good for the money, and it was cheaper than the last lot, and all the last lot people really liked. And yeah, and it just seemed, I certainly was a bit shocked with the backlash from it. So that's a bit of a one for you guys to think about. But I will keep an eye on the comments. But again, please, OC3D forums, if you'd like to chat about it there as well. I'll make a thread. I'll put the link underneath this video so that we can talk about it there. Come and join. We've now sorted out some of our server problems, because our server was having problems sending forum authentication emails, or rather your emails. Providers were bouncing them back. So we've sorted that out now, we think. So if you've had problems in the past, then try and resend the authentication email, or use the contact us link at the bottom of the OC3D website or forums, and just basically make sure you put your forum username in, and I can manually just go into the back end and go, and I can change you from waiting authentication to just a normal member, which is just a flick of a switch basically. So don't think that you've been getting ignored. It's all normally automated, and it's been a problem between servers and servers, kind of like two wrong ends of a magnet, do you know what I mean? So there's that. Now we have a lot of stuff coming up in the not too distant future. I am going to be doing a Xeon review, and it's actually a 4-core 8-thread Xeon. I think it's either 3.4 gigahertz or 3.6 gigahertz. there's no turbo, but there's also no onboard graphics, and because of that, you essentially get an i7 without overclocking, fair enough, but for the price of an i5, and that's something that I'm going to be doing. You do need certain motherboards for it, so I'm going to be using the, it is an Asus one, but it's got a server chipset on it rather than Z170. So that's something that we're going to be doing. I just thought that that might be something for someone that's looking for the grunt, but hasn't necessarily got the budget for it, so we're going to be doing that. The other thing that I am going to be doing is cases like these. As you can see, I keep a lot of stuff. Generally, if I'm lucky to get to keep it, it's all still here. A lot of the other stuff, forum members on OC3D will tell you, I give a lot of kit away as well. Many motherboards and graphics cards have been sent to forums. I've even sent people full systems in the past, but that's generally to people that are long-standing members. So don't start sending me grovelling messages, because honestly, if I don't know you or have got to know you over a period of time, I'm not just going to, you know, send you kit, sadly. There's just not enough of it about. It's normally end-of-life stuff that they end up getting anyway. But anyway, but we're going to start doing systems. So, systems, and this is just an idea that we're going to be doing. We might do a theme. So we might do, for argument's sake, a £400 gaming rig, and then we'll put it together, do a few rough benches. If I start doing lots of benches, then by the time I've done the videos, the photos, the build, the put together, the benching, the write-up, the videos, it's a week's work. So I need to kind of compress it down. So we might not get full blown, but we may do, you know, PC Marks, 3D Marks, for example, and 3 or 4 games, bosh, you know, and then do it that way. But the point that I'd like to do is we would need to do like based on prices, but then you also need to consider it. We can all go to overclockers and then look on overclockers and see the prices, and if for argument's sake, if it's an ASRock board, I can ask them if it looks like it's going to be the best one, but I might not be able to get it. So then it might be the second choice, which might be MSI, it might be Asus, it might, which is the most important thing, make more sense for me to use something that I've already got. And so you know, when we do make those videos, you can't just lose your mind about stuff. I'm going to have to do the best I can with the components that I've got and the components that I have available to me, because you know, with the systems, for argument's sake, this one in the end here has got GTX 970 turbos, and the reason why I use it is because they were white, they were here, they sort of suited the rig as well, so that might be something. You know, we'll see. It may grow. We may need to, maybe it'd be a better idea to do a themed rig like white and black or stealth, and then we can go into prices and try and expand it. The other option that I've got, because I have spoken to them on the phone about it, is I do have the option to do something similar like that, but with PC Specialist, which are obviously a completely separate company, but it will involve me going on their website, picking all the bits from the parts that they've got available, getting it to a price point, and then they'll build it, send it to me, and then I'll do like a mini review. But again, it means using an external company, and just, to be honest with you, I don't like it because I'm just seeing so many ways for trolls to twist stuff that aren't there. But essentially what I'm trying to do by worrying about it, people might say just don't, but what I'm trying to do by worrying about it is I am unsuccessfully trying to please everyone. And you know, a lot of people would say just don't worry about it, but when I see negative stuff in the comments, I generally look at it and think, you know, could I have done something a bit different? Could I do that different? Could I have done that? If I can't, I try and explain, but it doesn't seem to be working at the moment, so I'm getting a bit like, and yeah, it's either that or I just stop making videos altogether and you won't get them at all, because at the moment it's just starting to make me feel like it's not good enough. But maybe it's because I'm trying to do too many things at once, because we've got next door that we're trying to get sorted out, which is obviously quite stressful, and you know, trying to get the decorating done. But when that happens, this is the room that it is at the moment I've got again, but I've also got almost twice as much room again to be able to set up dedicated filming areas and stuff. So I'm hoping things like TTL talks might be able to come a bit regular, and we'll actually start to be able to talk about proper controversial stuff, rather than just people giving me grief all the time. I should be used to it by now. It's the internet after all. You know, I've had death threats in the past. You know, I shouldn't really be worried about people moaning about awards, but I'm hoping that, you know, with a little bit of conversation and conflab between us, people might be able to understand things a little bit more. I'm certainly you know what I mean? When you see all the cases on the side and the fact that, you know, I work with other companies and I do stuff and it gets sent to shows, or, you know, like with this one, I go to the show with it and I'm stood on an MSI stand, for example. It's, yeah, anyway, so obviously not everyone watches all of the videos, and I know a lot of the regulars do, and they're probably the more balanced people. So maybe, you know, you can almost become like internet moderators or something. I don't know. I'm going to try it and just keep people happy. But at this present moment in time, it would appear like I can't. But, right, system builds, love to hear your thoughts underneath, or even better, get on the forum thread on OC3D, because that's where we'll start doing build logs and there'll be lots of conversation about stuff that we can do. One of the ones I know I want to do is like a completely passive build, so it's totally passive. But again, people will be like, "Why have you used an ASUS board again?" And do you know what I mean? And when I get that, it's like, you know what I mean? Why bother? Why did I bother even bothering to do stuff? It's not like you have to pay to watch the videos or anything like that. But anyway, also, when you watch a review, if we do give it an award, we're not forcing you to go and buy it. And we're not also saying that it's the be all and end all. It's just, we're trying to give you advice that, you know, if you're in the market for something, it's an advisement that, you know, maybe you should consider. These were our thoughts with it. Now, we might have completely different thoughts on something to somebody else, and that's all good. That's the variety of life. But, you know, lately, some of the bigger companies have been making an awful lot of good stuff. And it's just, you know, and it can be a bit difficult when a couple of companies are so on point for a while that, you know, it can seem like, oh, instant award. But, you know, sometimes it's difficult not to give a product an award. And when you do go looking for problems and if you can't necessarily find them, or like when I do find them, it's like, you know, things in roofs aren't moved over far enough and they've really not bothered, but they could have done. And I pull them up, I then get flack for doing that. So I don't seem to be able to win. So I don't know what to do at the moment. Maybe I should just go back to, I don't know, just writing for a bit. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what you think anyway, because I could do with a bit of a positive reinforcement at the moment. So we'll see. Good rant. Sorry that you had to endure this. It's really one for the regulars, really. It's not one that people are just going to, you know, tune in for the sake of it. But so to recap, there are going to be some huge changes being made soon with location, hopefully video quality. It's going to be shaky for a bit because it's going to be me on another massive learning sort of like, you know, yeah. So hopefully I will be able to make things a bit better for you. We're looking at doing more like time lapses, and we're doing more social media as well, because we've got Instagram that we're doing now. And so there are a lot of things that I'm trying to squeeze in, which is basically more work. So it means me working harder, but, you know, hopefully you guys will see. And I've just thought as well, do you know what I mean? I sit in the same chair every video, doesn't matter what product it is, yet people don't say, "Oh, always in a GT Omega chair." Don't do that, do ya? Trolls, get back under your bridge. Mainly because it's super comfy. Anyway, so yes. Yeah, I don't know either. So, yes. Let me know what you think. Feedback, always welcome, negative or positive. If you're just trolling for the sake of trolling, then, do you know what I mean? But if you've actually got some questions or criticisms that we can actually take on board and work on, I'm all ears. They're big enough, do you know what I mean? I would make Prince Charles' ears. Oh, look, FA Cup. Anyway, yeah, see, I get all of those as well. I know, Uncle Teeth. So, yeah. Constructive criticism, I will always welcome. And I will either take it on board and try and rectify it, or I will try and give you at least a viable explanation. So I'm going to leave that lot with you. We'll probably make another one of these videos in the next couple of weeks, because you know, when things next door get going, then you're probably going to see a dip in reviews, and there's going to be more and more stuff on the website. But when I do make a video, the other thing, I think I have said this, but I'm just going to say it again. If I do make a video, you can go on the website and look at the other products like if I do a cooler review, you can, we'll have stuff in the graphs anyway, but you can go and read the other cooler reviews because they're all going to be on the website. Everything goes on the website and everything makes video. But anyway, right, we'll see. I will put this up and we'll see what people say. But for now at least, looking forward to hearing from you. This is Tiny Tom Logan with another video out.